All right. All right, here we go. Let's see. Right here. Cool. All right, so today, what we're going to do, um, we spent a little bit of time over the last week looking at both the New York Jets offense as well as the San Francisco 49ers offense. Um, broke them down, tendencies, all that stuff. Um, so we'll be looking at first some stats, tendencies, formation notes, and then we'll go into film. We'll start with the Jets, and then we'll go to the 49ers after that. Um, Basically, what we're doing today is a Tuesday morning meeting, a meeting that teams are going to have the first day they install the opponent. Usually that happens on Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday. Um, but typically, what happens is the coaches are going to come into the office Monday morning, um, get all their work done and prep for the week, and then Tuesday, when the players come in, this will be that meeting basically. Um, so we'll just get started. And let me see right here. I need to go, I believe, to this one. Cool. Yeah, this will work. All right, so like we said, we're going to start off with the New York Jets. And this is how I install, or how I present um, to my players. So what we're going to start with is who they are. This is the New York Jets, and this is from the 2023 season. Obviously, they didn't have Aaron Rodgers healthy last year all season, but it's the same play caller. So expect similar concepts, but it's going to be a lot more complex, right? Aaron Rodgers has been in this system for many years and has mastered it, so he's going to be able to do a lot more than I believe Trevor Siemian was the quarterback in the breakdown games. So, um, with that being said, it was an 11 personnel and 12 personnel team. That's who they are, and what we mean by that 11 personnel is three receivers, one tight end, and one running back. Um, and 12 personnel is two receivers, one running back, and two tight ends. So that's mainly what they're going to be on first and second down, 11 personnel and 12 personnel. Um, and the QB checked it down a lot in the breakdown games that we watched. And I expect this year with Rodgers, I expect him to push the ball down the field more. Probably isn't going to look to check it down as much as Simeon did in the breakdown games, just because, like we said, he's the starter. He's the guy. Um, what I do expect to carry over is receiver number 17 from last year. I believe he's wearing number 5 this year, Garrett Wilson. They get him the ball often. And they're going to try to figure out ways to get him the ball, whether that be screens, whether that be jet sweeps, reverses, option routes, or just throwing him 50-50 balls on fades. They're going to get him involved often and early. They want to target him, get him going. They're a personnel-driven team, and what we mean by that is what personnel they're in can kind of tell you what you're more likely going to see. Okay, so what we mean is 11 personnel, you're more likely to get passes. All right, 31 passes to 13 runs. That's 44 plays. So 70% of the time when they're in 11 personnel on first and second down, they're gonna throw the ball. On the opposite side of the spectrum, there, in 12 personnel, it's almost 70%. It's 68% run over pass, right? So they bring in an extra tight end to run the ball, and just now you know what you're looking for, right? You know that hey, two tight ends in the game, I'm 2-1 getting run to pass. Or when it's 11 personnel, basically 2-1 I'm getting pass to run. So those are just things that we can look at. Really 3-1. Um, these this number needs to be higher. 31-13, I think so. I don't think my numbers are wrong, but they might be. All right. They threw screens on 8 of 83 snaps. So usually I do a 3-game breakdown. This time I only did 2 because one of the games that I had was the New England game from the last week of the season, and it was just a snowstorm, and it wasn't normal offense. Like, it was just a bunch of runs and let's just get out of this game, because neither of those teams were getting to the playoffs. So it was just like, let's just get this game over with. But in the breakdown, they threw a lot of screens on first and second down, which 8 of 83 snaps is 10%. So, like, not a huge number, but more than normal. Typically, teams will throw screens like on the start of 2-minute or third and really long, but it's not usually like a typical part of your offense. And then China's, which is really typically number 1 sitting down and number 2 on a 7 cut, number 2 on a fade, number 2 on some sort of vertical. They like China's and they like verticals. And then a big Aaron Rodgers staple is the backside slant on 4x1 formations. So they get 3 receivers to one side of the field. They put the back also on that side of the field in the backfield, and then they'll throw the backside slant because those linebackers are going to vacate that space, so they're going to throw that slant. And we'll see that when we get to the film. All right, so now we'll transition down to third down right here. Third and fourth and 1 to 2 is a rundown for them. They did I think 3 or 4 sneaks in the breakdown game. So just 2 games they did 3 or 4 sneaks. Rodgers has done sneaks in his career in the past. Maybe coming off an injury, he won't do that as much. But we don't know that. And then when they got into bunch in 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2, they ran toss crack. So when we see that tonight, third down and 1, fourth and 1, and they get in that bunch formation, scream out toss crack because it's coming. All right. Now when we get to 3rd down and short, 3 to 6, it's quick game. You're getting a lot of slants. 17 shows up there, or number 5, Garrett Wilson shows up there, as well as the what we call 1-2, which is a slant and an out underneath it. That shows up a lot. Quick game, just catch, turn, throw from the quarterback, get it out of his hands quick, get the first down, and keep the drive moving. Okay, so now we're looking at 3rd and medium, 3rd and long right here, 3rd and 7 to 10. What's up? What's up, Hockey? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get ready for this Monday night. 3rd down and 7 to 10. China concepts show up again. Like we said, in base downs they show up. Down here in 3rd and 7 to 10. China concepts, number 1 sitting down outside, number 2 running vertical, a 7 cut, a fade or a seam, and Garrett Wilson shows up a lot in this down distance. He had a good number of targets in this down distance. And when they get to extra long, that's when you get the verticals as well as like the screens and checkdowns. We're not going to talk too much about the red zone stuff for these guys. We'll go a lot more in depth with that when we get to San Francisco. We'll just go down here a little bit to the notes. These are just kind of various notes. For this team, they had a decent amount of motion, but it wasn't huge. But when there's 2 or more motions, like one guy moves, gets set, and then another guy moves, it's a big run alert. I didn't write down the numbers just because I didn't want to go super deep into that. But now, that's 2 or more motions, we're going to alert run. All right? Now, if we're getting Y movement across the formation, like he starts on one side of the center and goes all the way across to the other side of the formation, that's a pass alert. Like I said, I didn't write the numbers down. I could get them, but I just wanted to kind of get through the Jets and kind of focus more on San Francisco because they're a little bit funner to watch. But Y movement all the way across the formation, alert pass. All right, now when we get to 12 personnel, we already said that 12 was more run than pass. Now when we get to 12 personnel, if the second tight end moves, that's a big run alert. All right, so the off the ball tight end, if he moves or whatever, that's a run alert. Kind of goes hand in hand with 12 personnel being more run than pass. All right, now we get into some formation specific notes, and we'll talk about what these formations are. 11 personnel deuce is what I call 11 personnel 2x2, meaning the tight end is in the core, and then we have 3 receivers, 2 on one side of the football, and then 1 over there with the tight end. That's a pass alert, 11 pass to 4 runs, which is 73%. And then we have bunch out of 11 personnel is a run alert. That's 4 runs to 1 pass, which is 80% run. All right, so 11 personnel bunch, think run. 11 personnel deuce, think pass. All right, we did a little bit 2 minute, but we're not going to watch that. Like I said, we'll watch more of the San Francisco stuff. 2 minute was all 11 personnel, but it was 10 look formations, right, where the tight end's going to line up like a receiver. Either that's 2x2 open, 3x1 open, or empty. Yeah, this is this is what I install on the first meeting of the week to the team. So let's see now. Let's get to. All right, so now we're looking at the film. All right, so this is the Jets, and like we said, this is from last year. I think this is not the last week of the season, but week 16 and 17. Let me pull this back up. Bam. All right, cool. So now this is just like their top concept. So what we're gonna start with is just base downs in the field, because this is who they are, right? This is who they are, what they want to be on normal down distances. So like we said, they do motion some, not a whole bunch, but enough. They want to take their shots. They want to push the field vertically, especially when they have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers likes to push the ball down the field. All right. So what we call here is just middle read. You're getting max protection. Tight end and back are staying in. 3-man route. Aaron Rodgers, when he's there, he's going to put it where it needs to be, just like Simeon did in that clip. So now, same thing. We're looking at deuce formation, Y movement across the formation. We already know that 11 personnel is a little bit more pass than run. Vertical concepts, getting the ball to number 17 in this clip, but is number 5, I believe. Now this year, Garrett Wilson, they're going to get him the ball often. They want to feed him. So look to see him get targets. I mean, if they have a 8-play, 10-play drive, look to see him get 2 to 3 targets on that first drive. All right, so now we're looking at deuce again. This is what we're talking about in deuce, right? Receiver up top. Let me see if I can find my mouse right here. We got receiver, tight end, and receiver. Same concept as we saw on the first play, right? But this time they're taking the shot outside. I guess he sees quarters, and he feels like this safety is not going to be able to get there to help, so he's just going to take a shot up to 17. I think this was an incompletion, but they called defensive pass interference. This play showed up a fair amount of times for them. Like we said, they do like their screens on first and second down, right? So this is one of those screens, just a little Y slip screen. Um, it will be screens to the tight end. It'll be screens to the running back as well as screens to the receiver. All right, but they do like their screens on first and second down. I don't know if those numbers will carry over with Aaron Rodgers or not, or if this was more of a Trevor Siemian thing. I can't speak to that. But here you can see they're trying to get action over there, and you can even see he gets back. He doesn't wait very long. He's kind of delaying for 1 second, looking to the right, but he goes back to that screen pretty quick. He doesn't want the ball in his hands very long. All right, now we're getting to empty, which shows up a little bit on first and second down, 11 personnel. I believe this was their third top formation. Maybe it was their second. We get empty, what I call slot stick, because stick concept is let me see, here we go. Stick is this concept right here with field spacing. So what I call this is slot stick, where he's going vertical. He runs that concept and he runs here because the field spacing's still the same. Or it's getting to it a little bit different way. But I call that one slot stick. But here you can see targets for Garrett Wilson. They put him at 3 right here, knowing that if you're going to be in a too high shell, this is going to be a linebacker, and they're just giving him a little option route. So he's just going to attack the leverage of that linebacker and then spin back out, catch the ball, make a nice little move, get a positive play. All right? They're going to try to feed him the ball early. They're going to get him going. He's their guy. Overall, how much changes between Siemian and Aaron Rodgers? Like, I get the basis saying, do you think I think the tendencies will be similar, but I think that Aaron Rodgers will push the ball down the field a little bit more. I think that I didn't put a whole bunch in here of checkdowns, but Siemian checked down the ball a bunch. And I think Rodgers will push it downfield more. He's very confident in his arm ability. So I think that he will, if he sees single high, he's going to throw it outside. He's going to push the field on a fade. I think that he'll check a lot more at the line of scrimmage based on what the defense is showing. But I think the grand scheme will be similar. I just think there'll be a lot more with Rodgers. Like, they're still gonna be who they are. Like, it's still gonna be a lot of verticals and China concepts, and like the numbers will still hold similar. Like 11 will still be more pass, 12 will still be more run. So now we're getting into 12 personnel on first and second down. Like we said, anytime there's in 12 personnel, but two things hold true here. Anytime the second tight end moves, who's the guy going into the backfield, or there's two motions or more, it's heavy run. So we're getting you deep, the second tight end's going to the backfield, and then we're getting the other tight end going across the formation on the snap, right before the snap. So that's two motions, and we get a run, and we don't fit it right with Washington, and number 20 is a good back. Like he showed up in this breakdown a fair amount of times. I didn't put a whole bunch of his runs on here, but he shows up a lot. And he catches the ball well out of the backfield because 14 checked the ball down so much. And they have some plays where they'll put him out empty and let him run routes, and he catches the ball well too. So this is a little wind back play. They don't fit it correctly. And that's a reason why teams use all this motion too, is so you don't fit things correctly. He needs to come back this way, and he needs to come back this way, with this guy and this guy coming back. So we're fit here. He needs to get all the way over this guy to right here, and now this guy needs to really fit right there. But we don't do that. ends up in a touchdown because we don't fit. We don't fall back. .51's got to get over the top. All right, so now we're still in 12 and we're getting bunch. A little spacing concept. QB, get the QB in rhythm. Tight end shows up a decent amount, number 83. He caught a fair number of passes. Here we go at 12. Like we said, 12 is a little bit more run. We're getting the second tight end moving, which is a run alert. This is the second string back. I think he was a rookie last year. Maybe he was second year guy from Pitt. Izzy Abakanada from Brooklyn. 12 personnel toss. The toss crack shows up out of bunch in short yards, which we'll get to in a second. But they do also, just like toss, either side, they toss it right, they toss it left. But they motion over there to Trey, 3-by-1. The linebacker shoots the gap. But if he's going to shoot it, he's got to make the play because technically his fit is on the other side of this guy. And he needs to be here. And he needs to go over the top. I'm not sure why this got out of order. That's all right. We're back to 11 now. I don't know why it's got out of order. We got 4 more plays right here. All right, here we go again. We're showing single high pre-snap. Showing single high pressure. Man, single high. If San Francisco shows this today on defense, expect them to take their shot right here to Garrett Wilson. I expect Rodgers to do this a lot. If he sees single high, he'll give him some sort of hand sign, whatever that is, and he'll just chuck it up and let his guy go, try to win the 50-50. Because Garrett Wilson's good. He's a good receiver. He's a, probably top 10 receiver, top 12 receiver. He's up there. All right, here we're getting to that 4 strong again. On that backside slant that we talked about earlier. We got our 3 receivers. Our tight end right here and 2 receivers in the back, but 3 receiver bodies out here. Back going strong. They're looking at this guy. If he steps this way, they're going to throw that backside slant in this vacated space right there. That's exactly what he does. They throw that backside slant, get a positive gain. So we'll see it from the tight because you can really see it from the end zone copy. Right? Looking at this guy. With this motion and him stepping over it, he vacates this space right here. That's where they're going to throw the ball. See how he moves? That's where that ball goes, right where he was standing. Initially, he's in this passing lane right here through this slant. With that motion, he adjusts. Now that window becomes open. This is a big Aaron Rodgers staple, if you will. All right, now we got 2 more plays of first and second down. This is just a run right here. 2 or more motions, alert run. This is showcasing number 20's ability. Breece Hall, I believe. Two or more motions. We fit it correctly. This is just a large gap right here because 95 rushes up the field. got to play run as well. Now that gap becomes very large. And number 6 can't make the play. He's in his gap. I mean, like I said, we're gapped out. It's just he's rushing up the field instead of just sitting down and anchoring. No McCaffrey. What happened? Oh, he had like calf or something like that? They still got weapons. They'll be all right. All right, so now we're looking at empty. Big pass alert because it's empty. They don't have a back in the backfield. 17, number 5, Garrett Wilson. Gonna get his targets, gonna make his plays. He's a good receiver. And especially with Aaron Rodgers, he could have a big year. If Rodgers stays healthy and Garrett Wilson stays healthy, he could have a top 5 receiver year this year. All right, so now we're getting down into 3rd and 1. All right. S motion. Looks like he's checking something. Check. Sneak on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. It showed up a lot in this breakdown. Like I said, I don't know if they'll do it with Rodgers because of the health issues, but he has done it in the past, and it is a big thing for them. All right, now when we get bunch on 3rd and short, we're thinking toss crack. Toss towards the bunch that he's going to crack on Myles Garrett. Worked out for him. Barely, but it did. Toss crack shows up on 3rd and 1 and sneak shows up. When they come out in bunch, we should be thinking toss crack. He almost picked that toss off damn near. So now we're getting to third and medium, 3rd and 3 to 6. All right, we say quick game, slant flats, things of that nature. This is kind of spacing-ish. Trying to throw it to 17. He really tries to force it there. And they end up throwing the flag. Holding or illegal contact or something like that. So now we're getting into same thing, 3rd and 5. Here we're getting empty. A little short motion with the back to a stack. And there's running mesh concept. They're trying to rub the linebacker in coverage, really. They throw it to the back. He, like we said, he does catch the ball well out of the backfield. Ends up right there. We can see scoring touchdown. I think 20 is a good player. He's a versatile player. I didn't know much about him coming into this little project, and he's a good player. I like him. All right, so now we're getting into 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 right here. I believe this is just they're trying to get the ball to 17 and let him do his thing, which shows up a lot. He's not just a guy that catches the ball. He's dynamic with the ball in his hands. One more rep of 3rd and long. China show up. And we're saying China is this down here at the bottom. Little hitch or a jerk route coming back in, and a 7 cut or a seam or a post, some sort of outside high-low concept. And then here we're running like what I call Indy 7. If I can get my mouse. Here, and this. But here they're running a variation of it where he's going there and then he's trying to go up the field, which would be good against too high. Like if you're running quarters, then this guy should end up being open because that safety's going to go this way, this safety's going to go that way. And if this guy drops this in route to the Mike, really, who's a 3 receiver player, then that's just going to run away from him. So this is a big time too high beater. Not sure that we'll see that because San Francisco's a lot more single high, or they have been in the past. I don't know what they'll be this year, but they have been that cover three defense, which the Jets do as well with Coach Saleh. Same tree. Obviously, he was a 49ers D coordinator previous to being the Jets head coach. All right, now look at a few snaps in the red zone. 2nd and 1 in the red zone. Get the ball to who else? 17, a.k.a. 5, Garrett Wilson. Get the ball to him. Find ways to get him involved early, often. All right, now this is another big red zone concept that shows up. Your Poco routes, post corners, break like you run the post, back out to the corner. This is the big red zone concept for a lot of offenses. I foresee if they run this, Aaron Rodgers tries to throw one to the back pylon. He'll be more trustworthy in his arm, confident in his arm ability. All right, now the last play that we'll see for the Jets before we move on to the 49ers. We'll spend a little bit more time with them, like we said. All right, another big red zone concept, star route right here, him going to the flat. Here they end up throwing the pick because he forces it. They're playing quarters here. He's taking the guy to the flat. They're really going to double this upfield runner between the safety and the corner, and then he's got to push through to this guy, which he does perfectly, gets the pick. Teach tape for the Commanders. Teach tape for them on quarters defense. $57 does a great job there of expanding, seeing where he's going to. Eyes before feet. Right there he goes. Gets back, his eyes back, gets the pick. He's trying to get the ball pitched to him, but doesn't work out for them. All right, so now we will go right here. All right, and we're going to be looking at the San Francisco 49ers, who their film is a lot better because instead of being games with a poor offense, it's games with, playoff games. It was the Super Bowl, the conference championship, and whatever was before that, the wild card, semifinal, I don't know, whatever. All right, so now, who are the San Francisco 49ers on offense? Motion, motion, motion. So much pre-snap movement, it's going to drive you insane. All right? Pre-snap movement on 83% of snaps. That's, I don't know what the highest in the NFL is, but that's got to be, if not the highest, then it's top 2 or 3, and the highest would be like Miami or the Rams, who's in theory the same offense because they come from the Shanahan tree, right? Motion on a lot of snaps. Heavy motion, okay? And it's not just one motion, it's multiple motions. It's going to be the fullback moving, it's going to be the receivers moving, the running backs moving. It's motion across the board, and what they do a really good job of is they are extremely balanced across their motion. And what I mean by that is it's really hard to get a tell on what each motion means. I think we got a few tells, and if I was coaching a team to play against San Francisco, I would have done a lot more hours. But I'm not getting paid for this, so I didn't want to spend 30 hours doing this. But like we said, motion on 83% of the snaps in base downs, 2 motions on 35% of the snaps. All right, so 3 of every 10 snaps, there's going to be a guy moving, getting set, and then another guy moving. All right, that's a lot. That's a high number of snaps, and they're very balanced in base downs too. And like we said, this is from the Lions game, the Packers game, and then the Super Bowl. Is the 3 games that we looked at. They're almost 50-50 balanced on base downs, and they want to be a 21 personnel team. And what we're saying, 21 personnel, that's 2 running backs and 1 tight end, and they're doing that to keep number 44, who's Kyle Juszczyk. They want him on the field, right? Because he's a really dynamic player. He's a fullback, but when he lines up at receiver, he can run receiver routes and catch the ball like a receiver. He can block like a tight end, and they'll even hand him the ball a few times. But they want to keep him on the field as much as they can, so they're heavy. They want to be a 21 personnel team, all right? And then with that, they'll move these guys around a lot. And Hockey just said that there's no McCaffrey playing tonight, but when he is healthy, 44 will line up at running back, and McCaffrey will line up at receiver, and Debo will line up at running back, and Juszczyk will line up out at receiver, and even Kittle lines up at running back sometimes. They don't hand him the ball. He's usually there for protection, but those 4 guys especially will line up in a bunch of different positions. And I believe that they got McCaffrey mid-year last year, so obviously he's not playing tonight, but with him having a full off-season like spring off-season mini camp and all that stuff and training camp, he'll have a lot more packages and more ways to utilize him in the offense, because he'll know the whole playbook by now. And now we're looking at by personnel down here. Like we said, it's mainly 21 personnel. And then 11 personnel and a little bit of 22, but mainly 21 and 11. And it's pretty balanced across everything, right? 50-50 basically run to pass in 21 personnel. A little bit higher pass to run in 11 personnel, which makes sense, but not like 80-20, not anything where it's egregious. It's still pretty balanced. 63-37, 60-40, that's still pretty balanced, right? And then 22 personnel is only 7 snaps. All right, and now we get to this motion study. All right, not a whole bunch of tells, but I spent a little bit of time on this looking at it, and I got a few tells. All right, so this F deep motion, when Juszczyk motions from like tight end or receiver back into the backfield, that's a heavy run alert. 93% of the time when he starts at receiver, starts at tight end, and motions back to the backfield, you're gonna get run. All right. He's going to be the lead blocker because he's a good player. All right. And now I want to talk about this jet motion versus what I'm calling jet X motion. And the only difference between these motions are jet motion is the ball is snapped before the guy going in motion reaches the quarterback. That's 80% run. All right. So 4 out of 5 times that's going to be a run. And then this jet X motion, the ball is snapped after the guy passes the quarterback. That's 73% pass. All right, so those are pretty big discrepancies, and it happens quick, right? That jet motion, it's a split second between when that guy is in front of the quarterback to when he passes the quarterback. But you can tell, right? You can see where that guy is when the ball is snapped, and if the ball snapped before he gets there, I'm thinking run. And if it's snapped if I see that jet motion and then the ball is snapped after he's past the quarterback, I can think pass and I can get my eyes to where they need to be a little bit quicker, right? So things are happening really quick, but if you know what you're looking at, it can allow you to play fast, right? So I think that one is a pretty big tell. Um, but they try to be really balanced in their motion tendencies. Coach Shanahan and the offensive staff there, surely they have guys that are charting and making sure that they are balanced across all of their motions, and that's what shows up on tape, right? So if it's only one motion, it's 56% pass, two motions 54% pass. So really, one more play either way, and it's the same. Um, when the fullback moves, when the tight end moves, it's balanced run to pass. So like they're not giving any tells based on movement. Um, the only one that's a big tell is H movement, because usually that's the running back motioning out of the backfield. So they're not going to run with no backs. They don't have a quarterback that they're going to have QB design runs. Your FanDuel depends on this stream. Well, I'm not a good sports bettor, so I don't know. I don't know. But we did call UAB losing to ULM. We did call that one. I mean, shoot. We had a few upsets that we talked about over the last couple times. Yeah, taking McCaffrey anytime TD might be bad. And then 11 personnel when they don't motion, that's more pass to run. Not a big sample size, but a little bit more pass. Yeah, this is what you missed out on being on offense, Matt. This is exactly how we install on defense. Like this same, I just used my same format. So that's the big motion thing. The big motion things, the two big motion things that I came up with was the F deep. All right, that's a run alert. When use check motions back into the backfield, that's a big run alert. All right, and then the jet motion versus jet X motion, quick movement, ball snap before the quarterback, thinking run. Quick movement, ball snap after the quarterback, we're thinking pass. The big Uzi chat parlay. Come on. We need that to be a thing. Need to count them dollars up. All right, so now we'll move on to third down, and then we'll get to the film. Third and fourth and 1. So like when we were looking at the Jets, we looked at 3rd and 1 to 2 because they treated those the same, but San Francisco treats these a little bit differently. On 3rd and 4th and 1, it was big 22 personnel, and they QB sneaks. But then in 2 or 3, it was a little bit of a mixed bag, right? They ran the ball and they threw the ball. When we get to 3rd and 4 to 6, which is your 3rd and medium, high-low concepts, quick game. So you're thinking slants and that indie concept we were talking about, and the backside flat 7 shows up a lot. A lot of time that's like speed trips, and it's Kittle running the 7 cut and the back going out to the flat. 3rd and long, dagger shows up a few times. Oregon, which we'll get into what Oregon is, but they will push the field vertically, and Purdy will throw the ball downfield. Then we get to 3rd and extra long. Not at receiver screen still shows up, but they'll push the ball, and we'll call an OVS, outside vertical stretch. That's kind of like your sail concept, a vertical, a 7, and then a flat concept. China's as well as high lows. High lows can be daggers. High lows can be a dig and a drive underneath. Whatever, like tiered routes, basically. That's what you're getting a lot of, is tiered routes. And then receiver screen can show up. Basically, they're just hoping that you blitz and they can get the ball out quick and get a few blocks and go. Red zone stretch variations. This is more of a zone scheme run team than gap scheme. More stretch, more zone than power and counter. They will run power and counter, but it's more zone scheme. When they get to the goal line and they get 23 personnel, big people, they're going to run power. All right, they're going to run power out of 23 personnel, and they run it to the pair of tight ends. You get a lot of more in-breaking routes when they get down to the red zone, double slants. Um, when they get down to the red zone, they don't do as much outside stuff because they don't have room to stretch the field vertical. Like we're talking about these OVSs, outside vertical stretch, Chinas. They don't run as much of that in the red zone. They still run Chinas, but they're getting more in-breaking routes because they can't stretch the field vertically. So those OVSs, those outside vertical stretch tiered routes, those tiers are a lot smaller. So that's why they don't run those as much in the red zone. All right. Looking at the shots and the tricks, receiver number 15 threw a touchdown in the Super Bowl. He's right-handed, and then this doesn't matter because he's not playing, but he's thrown 4 career passes, but only one in the last 5 years, but he's right-handed. Formation notes, 11 personnel trip speed, which is a nub side tight end and 3 receivers on the other side of the formation, 90% pass. And then anytime in 11 personnel where it's gun near, where the tight end and the back are on the same side, that's a big pass alert. All right, now, 21 personnel. These are pretty big, in my opinion. If the QB is in shotgun in 21 personnel, 30 passes to 9 runs, which is big because we're saying up here, 21 personnel is pretty balanced, 54% pass to 46% run. But when we're in shotgun, it's 30 passes to 9 runs. That's very different than their normal tendency, right? That's very different. And then in 21 personnel, when the fullback is in the backfield, like a true 21 two-back set, that's a run alert. But that also goes hand in hand with this F deep motion, right? So that F deep motion goes hand in hand with the fullback in the backfield. And then if we're getting 21 slot, or saying it's 2 receivers to one side of the field and 2 tight ends on the other side of the field with the tight end and the fullback, that's a pass alert with the back over to the tight end. And I know that this is a lot of words and it probably doesn't make a whole bunch of sense, but what I'll do right here is I'll show you this. And we didn't do this for the Jets just because I didn't want to spend the time doing it. But we'll do it for this team. All right, this is another thing that I will install to the team, to the defense. All right, so this is who the San Francisco 49ers are. 21 personnel, 60% of the time, and this is all base downs. First and second down. A little bit more pass and run, and then you get your top formations, right? Your slot, your pro, your ace, and your tray. And then, all right, so now this is what we're looking at. And this is now you can tell how I talk. All right, so this first image right here is what I call slot. 2 receivers to one side, the tight end and the fullback. This happens to be home, where the back is directly behind the quarterback. All right, so this slot formation they ran 19 times out of the 83 snaps that they're in 21 personnel, which was the top formation. When it's home, when it looks truly like this and the back is here and the quarterback's under center, you're getting half run, half pass, 50-50. So it's balanced. But now, like we said earlier, when you're getting gun near, which means the quarterback is in the shotgun, alert pass, and the back is over here to the tight end and the fullback, alert pass, 6 times. So when the quarterback's in the shotgun, the back is over here to the 2 tight ends, basically, the tight end and the fullback, pass. Big pass alert. All right? So now we see that tonight on TV, slot, back over here. Hey, check pass, check pass, check pass. All right? And we get I formation slot, like motion back to I slot, then it's more run than pass because the fullback's in the backfield. All right, the top run concepts, you get stretch variations, whether that's stretch lead, split stretch or something like that, and then toss variations. It could be toss crack, it could be whatever. And then you're getting bootlegs out of this too. All right, bootlegs show up as well as quick game. All right, now we get to the pro over here, which is either I formation of some sort. It's really this guy in the backfield. He's got to be in the backfield. because it's pro, which means it's only 3 guys on the ball, if you will. Either receiver on one side of the field, and the tight end could be either side. If it's true like this, if it's I formation, like true I, then you're getting heavy run, 8-3. If it's gun split to where the quarterback's in the gun and each back is on either side, then it's pretty balanced. They only did that 5 times. 60% pass, so that's 3 pass, 2 runs. And then near I was just 1 snap. The top variations are toss 4 times, wind back, which is 2 times. Then you can't see it because it's behind me. But the top pass concepts are drop back pass and play action, both twice. All right, so now the next top 2 formations out of 21 personnel are ace, which is this look right here, just 2x2 with both of these guys in the core. Pretty balanced. Couldn't really get a tell on this. It's basically 50-50 across all backfield sets, whether that's home, whether that's gun far, gun near. All right, pretty balanced. So you're getting stretch, you're getting bootlegs, a lot of bootlegs. 4 times out of 15 plays, you're getting bootlegs. All right, so this formation is a pretty big bootleg alert. And then we're getting tray formation, which is 3 receivers. Really, it's a receiver, fullback, and tight end all to one side. And when the running back is directly behind the quarterback, you're getting more run to pass. Not super high, 5-2, not crazy, but a little bit more. Gun far, only 1 snap, pistol, only 1 snap. All right. Now, when we get to 11 personnel, like we said, it's more pass than run, and the top formations are deuce, trip speed, and then a little bit more here. So deuce is 2x2 and trip speed is 3x1. Here's our deuce formation with motion. Happens a lot. 19 snaps a deuce. If the back is truly behind the quarterback, it's a little bit more run to pass, almost 70-30, 9-4. So more run than pass, obviously, but not anything where it's like always going to be run. It's just more run when the back is truly behind the quarterback. When we're in the gun, pretty balanced. 2-1 in gun far, 1-2 in gun near. So not like a huge tell. When we get to their run concepts, stretch, and that happens a lot when like stretch is out of home, when the QB is under center. That's when you're getting all your stretch, and split zone. So a split zone can be a receiver or a tight end coming back, because they will have the receiver come back, and then they'll have their bootlegs off of that. So split zone is a pretty big concept for them. Top pass concepts are drop back pass, play action, as well as bootlegs. The trip speed, like we talked about, the receivers are the tight ends on one side, and the receivers are all 3 on the other. And we get this formation right here, where the tight end and the running back were on the same side. It was all pass. All pass. When the tight end and running back are on the same side, opposite of the 3 receivers. All pass 7 times. And it's more drop back pass. You can't see it. It's behind me, but it's more drop back pass. This formation is heavy pass. 9 pass to 1 run. So when they get into this formation, you're thinking pass, right? More pass than run. All right, so now let me pull up the film. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, Ace from UFM made this for me. It goes hard. All right, here we go. So now we're looking at the San Francisco offense, and this is a longer cut up. So, what time is it? 4:20. The game starts in an hour, give or take. We have enough time for this. Cool. All right, so this is a little bit better offense because this is the playoffs and just a little bit more fun. A little bit more fun to watch. I got a bug on my computer screen. What the hell? I killed it. All right. So, we're starting with 21 personnel. It should be all 21, then 11, and then third down. All right, it is. Good. So we're going by top formation. So it should be slot, then pro, then ace. Perfect. I'm not sure you can watch this play. Why? Why this one specifically? It's only third quarter. The Lions are winning 24-7. Nothing bad will happen. All right, play action. Big play action team, big max protection team, 2-man route concept, dagger, throwing the ball to Debo, dropping behind the linebackers, throwing the ball into space. That happens when you run the ball, right? That happens when you run the ball. Get those linebackers to bite up. Look at that right there. 34 and 44. They both bite on the run fake because they run the ball a lot. But if they studied their film, they would know that slot is a big pass formation for them. Slot is a big pass formation. Let me see. I gotta try to pull this up. Let me see. Slot was I can't find it right now. When it was gun near slot, that was home slot. Gun near was six passes to no passes. Gun near slot or slot. Home is balanced 4-4. Gun near is 6 passes to 0. But home under center is balanced. Yeah, there's I don't know how many Lions plays are on here, but they were part of the breakdown. I didn't realize they were winning this game. Look, it was 24-7. They scored 17 points in the third quarter. All right, so now we're getting to gun near slot. All right, this is the formation we're talking about. That's the heavy pass formation. All pass in the breakdown games. Here, receivers, slot formation, 2 receivers on one side of the ball, right? Gun near, running back to the tight end and the fullback. All passes in the breakdown. Here they're running they're blitzing, and the running back misses the block, but we also missed a sack. Can't miss the layups. Looks like here they're running some sort of pressure 2. 4 under, 2 deep. So what we need is this guy to sink over here and get underneath this route. But he's not used to doing that because that's a defensive end or outside linebacker. He's not really used to doing that. So see how he doesn't expand? He needs to get out here underneath this. But this guy is a defensive end. Maybe he's a backer, I'm not sure. But he's an outside backer. He's a quote-unquote edge rusher, if you will. But what you want him to do is right here, is to flip his hips right here to get that, get his butt to the sideline and look back to see this guy and sink underneath that. Yeah, he's an outside linebacker. Instead, he rushes a passer, leaves that open. But here's a good look at 44, right? This is a fullback. Not many fullbacks are making this play in the NFL. I would say arguably one fullback is making this play in the NFL, and that one being him. Like, this guy is special. 44 is a special football player. He's extremely good. Extremely good. Not many guys can do that. I mean, like, there are receivers that can't make that catch. Most running backs can't make that catch. Probably some tight ends can't make that catch. But he's special. All right, so now, once again, gun near slot. They motion to it to now slot. And that's another thing that they do. This is what I call tray slot. The receivers are still on the same side of the field, but now it's 3-by-1. Now we're getting to 2-by-2 slot. They just disguise things with their motion. And then they motion Ayuk over and back just to window dress things, all right? It's still slot, but you have to think about all these different things in your mind because they window dress so much. I don't know why these are all Lions plays at the top. All right, but here, I call this double comeback option. Double comebacks because these guys are both running comebacks and these guys are both running option routes underneath. And after breaking this team down, after breaking San Francisco down, I like Purdy. I like him. They need to pay him. He's the real deal. He's good enough athletically. He throws the ball where it needs to be more times than not. A lot to correct, but they do run a lot of motion, just like the Rams. Yeah, exactly. A bunch of motion. I didn't see the other side of the ball in this game. I just saw obviously this side. I don't know what the problem was. San Francisco kind of just, they made their plays down the stretch. And I don't know about Detroit's offense because, like I said, I didn't watch it. But San Francisco made their plays down the stretch. All right, so now we're looking at Super Bowl, obviously. Motion to slot. Motion again. And this is the jet motion, right? Quick motion, and they're snapping it before he gets to the quarterback. That's a run alert. If he snaps it after the quarterback, that's a pass alert. Small things, but you can see. Snap before he gets to the quarterback. It's a split second thing, but it can be the difference. All right, so we're getting the F across motion to the jet sweep. Had some misplays, 2 drops on. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Because I didn't think their defense played awful. I didn't think their defense played awful at all. All right, so now we're looking at the jet X motion. All right, and this one happens to be a run. It was normally a pass. Tell or whatever, like it signifies pass, but it's not 100%. All right, so this is a jet X motion that we're talking about. Fast motion, he's still moving when they snap the ball. Here we're getting a toss crack, and we're getting a scary sight for a DB. You're seeing a big number 71 running directly at you. When we were watching this last week, 22 is like one of my favorite players in the NFL after watching this game. I love this dude. McDuffie, watch this. Make him miss, make the tackle. I like 22, man. He's a really good football player. He played well on Thursday night, too. UW, that's facts. That's such a nice little... Like, that's so scary. This right here, 22, he can't be more than 195 max. To see Trent Williams, who's probably like 315, maybe even more, barreling down, like, and not even just 315, like an extremely athletic 315. And he just makes him miss a little, ooh. Because, like, Trent Williams missing right there and staying on his feet, I don't know if any other tackle in the NFL is going to do that. Run out like that, but then miss and not fall down. Trent Williams is different, man. All right, so now we're in overtime. We're motioning the F back to the backfield. Big run alert. I believe it was 93%. This is a little stretch concept. Zone run game. When that fullback motions to the backfield, that's a big run alert. Let's see how we fit it. I mean, okay. 32 is trying to get to where he needs to get to. He kind of gets knocked out of his gap a little bit, but he's trying to fight to stay there. 54 overruns it. It looks like they're doing some sort of pressure with how they're lined up. He's there and he's there maybe, or he's there and he's there, something like that. He's there. It's some sort of pressure over here. All right, once again, that fullback motioning into the backfield. I think my guy number 7 for Green Bay had a little bit better of a game on Friday night, but he had a rough game in this game. He didn't fit anything correctly. F motioning back, that's a big run alert. We missed a tackle. 23 is a good running back, and he'll make you pay. All right, so we're getting that fullback motion back to the backfield. So really now to fit this, let's see, we need him. Where's my mouse go? Huh. I don't know why it's not, whatever. He needs to fit there, he needs to fit there. There. Here. Either he needs to fit there, I don't know if they're playing quarters, he needs to fit there, and he needs to fit here. And we need him, but someone needs to fit off him. Okay, we got a corner out here. So he needs to go there, and he needs to go there. And he needs to fit there, and he needs to fit there, and it ends up hitting right there, where he needs to be. And that's a tough tackle for a safety to make on a running back right there. Green Bay had problems in this game fitting the run. .21 personnel, 2 motions, F motion, this jet X, jet motion across the quarterback, thinking pass. It happens quick. It's the difference between snapping right there. I mean, really, it happens at the quarterback, but right there and right there, basically. Here they're trying to do a throwback. I think they're trying to get this guy to leak out is what it looks like, but can't be positive. I think that's where he's going because he's pointing. He's saying, "Hey, you need to go over there." Is what it looked like. Another max protection shot. Really 2 motions here to get to 2x2. A lot of motions. We've seen motion every single play, I think. Max protection shot. Check down to 23. Get a lot of max protection shots with this team. That's what makes Shanahan. Zone scheme, run game, boots, and shots. deep overs. All right, you don't see a whole bunch of this. You don't see a whole bunch of gap scheme, but you see a little bit. It's more of a change up for them. They do a little bit. Not a whole bunch, but a little bit. And these guys are nasty, too. They're receivers. They block to, through, and beyond the whistle. And they block well. All of their receivers block really well. I think Debo's wearing number 1 this year. Ayuk and 15 blocks well. But they all block well. All right. Not a whole bunch of gap scheme, but they still run some gap scheme. F motion to ace. Stretch. I wonder if I put that Hutchinson play on here. It wasn't that one. I mean, that's not Hutchinson. The one where Kittle blocked him. I saw it when I was breaking it down earlier. I don't remember when it was from. Slot. This is gun far, so it's not as much of a tell. But then they get to this jet X motion, pass alert. Come on, locked in. RPO bubble. Here they have the numbers. We don't adjust fast enough with this guy and this guy. So he just sees him. Okay. I'm going to go block the biggest threat, and then he's going to go here and block this guy. Yeah, I don't know if I put it in the cut up or not. I forgot about it. But what I said about this guy, Debo, is the farther away he gets from the line of scrimmage without the ball, the less dangerous he is. But when he gets the ball close to the line of scrimmage in space, shoot, forget about it. He's dangerous. He runs super hard. He makes you miss. He'll run you over. He's a good player. Did 31 get hurt there? He break his arm? He was holding it like he broke it. Did 31 break his arm in this game? Or his hand? Wrist? Did you put the play in there where the ball bounces off? Yeah, it's on here. I put that on here. Did 31 get hurt there? Or did he just get a stinger? All right, 21 bunch. Motion. Inside zone. Stinger, yeah. I wanted to put this one on here just to show, and I guess it's kind of a moot point now, but 23, how far he will cut this ball back. This is zone to the left, and he cuts it all the way outside the entire formation. Sticks his foot in the ground, gets back. 6 makes a really nice play there, though, from being cut to making the tackle. 31 does, too. Yeah, a really good cut. That's why I wanted to put this one on here. All right, so now we're getting into what I would call the maroon zone. It's not the red zone yet, but this is kind of like a special play, like a game planned play. It's not a main concept. I just wanted to put it on because he has this guy wide open, but Chris Jones just makes an incredible play right here. He just wins, or else it's a touchdown. Because if he can step into this throw and not have to throw while he's getting a hit, he's got Debo in acres of space. Watch out, cameraman. We've got a few more 21 personnel plays. What time is it? 4:40. Chris Jones is hella scary. He made a few plays whenever they played Thursday night. Get the ball in their playmakers' hands right here. Use motion to disguise it. Make some guys miss. I don't know who their backup running back is. Really, two motions, F up to this F jet X. Little swing screen. Make a guy miss, make another guy miss, make another guy miss, make another guy miss. 99 is talking mess at somebody for missing a tackle. Up here, he starts pointing and laughing at somebody. I don't know who he's laughing at, but a lot of guys miss a tackle here. 23 is special too. Here's your jet X motion again. Motion on the other side of the quarterback. Snap it to middle read. 989. Mason? Trey Mason? No. Yeah, if McCaffrey's out. Did he hurt his calf, McCaffrey? McCaffrey? I don't know who 3 is. That I don't know who that is. Still the calf. That's unfortunate. But here, Purdy puts his ball where it needs to be. I like Purdy, man. It's a good ball. Good hit by 38, but good ball nonetheless. McLeod, maybe? I couldn't tell. All right, this is the second to last 21 personnel. Same thing. F motion gets set to H fly. Halfback motion, you're thinking pass because that back is motioning out of the backfield to create empty. And 13, wow, Big Uzi with the 5 gifted. Nah, that's wild. That's wild. That man like that. That man like that. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. That's wild. I appreciate you, sir. That's love right there. And the hype train. Hopefully something good happens in this game. We can get a big play or something. Not an incompletion. Debo catch the ball. It's hybrid special. Debo not catching the ball. Like we said, the farther Debo gets away from the ball, the less good he is. Hey, that's what we're talking about. Week 7, we're going to see. This is the last play of 21 personnel on this playlist until we get down to the red zone, whatever. 21 as 11. So in this formation, this is what we said, right? This is a tight end right here. This is Kittle, and this is the fullback 44. So they'll move these guys all around. They'll move them all around. Here we're getting your 9-7-3, your OVS, your outside vertical stretch. 9-7-3. Your tier routes. 85 pushes off. They're not going to call it. Yeah, C6 is claiming for the push off. He does get pushed, but the Manning cast segment, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. All right, now we're getting into 11 personnel. So 11 personnel was a little bit more pass and run, but not a whole bunch. The Manning cast string would be wild. All right, here they're sending pressure. Green Bay is. 2 motions. Y across and then S jet. Snap before he gets to the quarterback, we're thinking more run. Split zone, just go straight downhill. And now with this pressure that they're running, 52 needs to get into this gap, like on the other side of the tight end, but he gets cut and he can't get there. But with that edge pressure, he's got to get there. All right, so this is the play from the Super Bowl, the double pass. I just put this one on here. He wants Debo or Kittle going up the field, but he ends up just throwing it kind of blind over there. If they would have covered it, it probably would have been a pick because he just kind of chucks it over there. But this ends up being a touchdown. Crazy times. That's a bummer. It's brutal. Brutal way to score. Get scored on. 11 personnel. 1 motion. 2 motions. Just an RPO right here. Looking at this guy right here. If he expands, so he'll hand it off. If he sits here, and he'll throw it because they got the numbers. And now it's one-on-one with the safety. And here's an example of Debo running the ball. He runs angry. Right? He's gonna stick his head down, shoulder down, and try to run you over. He's gonna talk about it too. But another example of their receivers blocking, 11 and 15, I think are both good blockers. Getting wide jet. Now this is, like we said, jet is usually more run, and the jet X is more pass. But it's not 100%. It's not 100%. And now, here's your play right here. Yeah, that play's mad unfortunate. I don't know. This hype train emo, I don't know what that is. So they called a penalty. Did they call pass interference on the defense as well? Because I don't think that should be pass interference. Real nightmare feel. Yeah, I can understand that. That's not pass interference to me. He's trying to play the ball. Whatever. They won't call penalties on the defense. Yeah, play's unfortunate. Mad unfortunate. What was the score here? It's in the third quarter. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, 24-10. It was only 1st and 10, though. All right, this is the last play of base downs before we get into third down. Here's that jet X motion, thinking more pass. Kind of cross country, kind of middle read. He's got 19 if he has time, because they're running pressure 0 here. He doesn't have time, but he flips it out to his running back, who's a tremendous player, makes him miss. Big play. Pressure 0 on 2nd and 6 at the 50-yard line is wild. All right, so now we're getting a third down. This is 3rd and 1. All right. F deep. QB sneak. Just trying to get the first down, keep the chains moving. 4:52. All right, so sneak shows up a lot, and then toss crack was the Jets. My bad. I'm getting both these teams mixed up. All right, so now we're in 3rd and medium, 3rd and 3 to 6. 2 motions. You get the whip route over here, but they will stretch the field vertically a little bit on third and medium too. I think I'm not sure exactly what they're running here. It's some sort of pressure, and I don't know if he has the back, the safety has the back, or if he's like a single high safety, and he's like reading quick game or whatever, because it looks like he thinks he has help. How he plays this, like he's playing inside and underneath. It looks like he's expecting him to be in the middle of the field. I think 36 messed up. I think it's just like single high pressure, and he's the middle safety, and one of these guys is peeling on the running back. I think. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Purdy's nice, bro. All right, here's another big gainer. Purdy is him. All right, so we're getting trio speed, 3 receivers up top, and then a tight end right here. Yeah, he might. I mean, shoot, this is what, year 3 for him? So this is a contract year for Purdy, I believe, right? So he can go score. Screw you, Dante. Whack. All right, so here we're getting like triple seam. I call this switch triple seam. Here, and vertical. He just needs to take this guy on the under. He needs to own that route, and then he becomes that guy. If 34 just goes with it, that's Owens, Jonathan Owens. He's with Chicago now. He just needs to stay with it and make the tackle. Jair Alexander's fun. He's hilarious, dude. 23 for the Packers. 30-something yard gain. He hits a tight end and he starts talking to him like, bro. He's hilarious. He might be the funniest dude in the league. For real. He really might be the funniest dude in the league. Alright, so now we're getting the 3rd and 10. Dagger shows up here. Some form of dagger. This play is this is in the 4th quarter. I need to see what the score is here, because this is a huge play in this game. Oh, they ended up punting here. Alright, they're down 4. They ended up punting this ball somehow. But this play right here, I think when I saw this play, I was like, okay, Purdy. So they get to empty quads. But this ball right here, with pressure in his face, that's a dot. Right over that safety. That ball is so nice. I think this was the one where I was like, damn. And maybe he got lucky. I don't know. But with pressure right there, look at that ball. I mean, shoot. Come on now. Pay that man. Pay that man. Look at that ball. Into triple coverage? Like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Into triple coverage? In the playoffs? Down 4 in the 4th quarter? Come on. Look at that ball. Come on, bro. With the D tackle hitting him, the end. Come on, man. Shoot. All right, now we got 3rd and 9. Insanity, right? Pay that man. Pay that man. I mean, they're gonna have to. Here's another good throw. Off platform, fading away, dot. Like, come on, bro. This shows up a lot for them too. Like they get to 9-7-3 a little bit differently. Vertical, he runs like a little whip route, and he runs that 7 cut. They get to this a fair amount. This is a good cover 3 beater because they're running cover 3 here. Maybe, yeah, cover fire zone. They're running fire zone here. Same thing. Close enough. He's got to go attached to that out route, and when he comes back in, he's vacating this space right here, so he just runs away from this guy. Even if he didn't slip, that's probably still a completion. Is 25 still there, Mitchell? The backup running back, 25. That's a nice ball too. The feet, shuffle, fading away, dot. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not taking any Purdy hate. I'm taking none of it. We will not tolerate Purdy hate. Alright, I don't know what this motion back is for. I think it's just for timing. But we're getting the 3rd and long here, 3rd and 11. Tries to dump it off. He could have Ayuk if he waited a second longer, but I don't know that the 34 would have jumped up on that route if he didn't throw it. And here at the same time, you don't want to take a sack and get pushed out of field goal range. Just drop it off. I mean, McCaffrey very likely could make that linebacker miss. I think he doesn't because he double clutches the ball. He might have made a miss if he caught it clean, but stay in field goal range. That's a good decision. Hutchinson got down this one. He got knocked off balance and tripped on the other guy. And then 64 cleaned him up. Yeah, I don't think he caught it clean. Alright, so now we're getting into the red zone. I didn't do a whole bunch of red zone study on these guys just because I spent a lot of time on that motion stuff, trying to figure out motion. But it was more in-breaking routes. Here's a rub route up top. Rub slant. They throw it to 15. He breaks the tackle, scores. Like we said, more inside breaking routes show up in the red zone. Just because you don't have that vertical grass to create levels as much in the red zone. Ball on the 2-yard line, 11 personnel. Yeah, I didn't put that Hutchinson play on here. I don't know. I have no idea where that play happened. Just stretch down the goal line. I think 46 just overruns it a little bit. Either 46 overruns or 34 needs to go. One of the two. It looks like... No, I'm sorry. He's got to get there. 54 has got to get in that gap with how they're playing it. Because he's in that gap. He's there. They're pinching. He's there. He's there. There. Here. One's outside. And this guy's got to just get to the ball. What does he do? Just... Yeah. He did his job. Just pulled him down with him. 64 holds too. 65 is the block that scores right here though. 46 overruns it. He doesn't need to go over there really. They're gapped out over there. He just overruns it a little bit. Yeah. He can chill. He can play slow. Especially with McCaffrey, because you know that McCaffrey is a cutback runner. He can play this a little bit slower. It was 24/7. Damn. All right, power shows up and they run it back to the pair of tight ends down here. Power is an A gap run. Here they end up just bouncing a little bit. That was the nail in the coffin, huh? Let's see what happens. They make the DB's tackle. You got to go shoot it, brother. Got to go shoot it. We're gapped out. We're gapped out. Who's 25? Safety. Gotta go, right? Now, you gotta go. Gotta just go. Ball's on the 6. UNF over there. So really what they're doing is they're just changing the strength. Changing it from the tilt over here to over here. So like if you have any sort of fire zones or pressures that are based on the fullback, now he motions over here. So it looks like a opened up set. Then he motions in, he motions over. So now we got 3 bigger players right here. They're just window dressing it. To run stretch. We get cut out. We don't wrap up. Let's see what happens. All right, so now we're in trouble here because this is number 1, right? Yeah, this is number 1. We got 2 guys outside. That's not a good picture. He needs to get like in here. I mean, really, in theory, you probably want him right there, and 23 to stay outside. You want that guy inside, and he's got to go shoot all the way here. That's his gap. He ends up getting there, but if he would have lined up there, he would have probably made the tackle, right? And that's just pre-snap. We got 2 guys outside of 1. One of these guys needs to get right here, and that would bump him over. But there's no gap here. There's no gap there. There's no gap there. This is the first available gap, and that's really where it ends up hitting. It kind of hits on the other side because they swing this guy down, but he's Jesse Owens or Jonathan Owens. Got to get over there, right? By alignment, he's aligned incorrectly. Now he's got to run, can't wrap up, and you're not going to tackle Christian McCaffrey like that. He's too good, too athletic, too good of contact balance. You can't tackle him like that. But if you line up where you're supposed to be, right here, maybe you can make that tackle. They got a lot of DBs on the field too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe not. I just don't like him out here. I would like him to be right here. It wouldn't have changed anything in theory, but like you got 2 guys out here outside of 1, and now you don't really have anyone in this gap. He thinks he's got this gap, but he really has this gap. And motion affects that. Because initially he's getting lined up off this guy, and if he blocks right here, okay, well then I do have to fit here because now he's got that gap. But when he motions over, he doesn't adjust with motion. So that's why they do it, because this exactly right here. 34 is too far away from his gap. Now they score. All right, this is the last play in the cut up. It's 5:06, so that's not bad timing. It's not bad time at all. It probably takes about 90 minutes to do this. This is 3rd and goal from the 6. He's got Kittle right now. Who's he end up throwing this ball to? Ayuk. Is number 1 Cam Sutton? Dirty eyes. Right there. Look. Looking at the quarterback. He ain't throwing you the ball, bro. Look at your man. What are we playing here? We're playing like double robber. Safety almost gets there. Just not enough time. Is Sutton still on the team? Or they move on from him? They paid him like cornerback 1. He's really like cornerback 2 or 3. Yeah. They paid him. They overpaid for him, in my opinion. I don't think he's a bad player, but he's not He's not. He shouldn't be the best corner on your team. Oh, he did get in some trouble, I think. Look at Purdy, pocket movement, fits that ball. That's nice, man. Purdy's nice. I think 2 could probably go a little bit sooner. Right now, get his eyes out there. He needs to get his eyes. If he gets his eyes over there and sees Ayuk breaking in, he might make that play. Legal, yeah, okay, I get that. I think number 2 could have a little bit cleaner eyes. Oh, is that the kid that with the Eagles? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson? Is that 2? The guy that wants to fight everybody? I think he needs better eyes. He never looks over there. What I always say is eyes before feet. Right now, when he starts moving, get my eyes out there. See where I'm going. I would see Ayuk on that in-breaking route, and I would probably be able to get there because I would turn and run. But he never looks out there. He's looking at the quarterback the whole time, which I get because he's playing like a robber, like he's playing like a hole player. But right now, when Purdy starts to move, if he looks out here, he sees Ayuk breaking in. And now he can burst out there instead of side shuffling. And that's all the difference that it makes, right? It's small things. Small little timing. But if he sees it right now, and he looks, instead of that little side shuffle, and he bursts like full speed, he gets a PBU right there. And that's 3rd and goal in the 3rd quarter. So they kick a field goal here. What's the score? If he makes this play, they kick a field goal. And it's 13-24. Those are big plays, man. Like, those are big plays. Big plays. Gotta make them. Small things, but end up being big plays. Bam. That was 34 plays of San Francisco and like 25 of the Jets or something like that. Did you guys like the... Did you guys more like the word pages? Hold on, let me see. The helmets? Yeah. The old Jets one. I got a whole bunch more on the ground for next couple weeks. These are all old ones. Got the old Bills and a whole bunch of them. I don't know who plays next week, but I got the next couple weeks on the ground right there. Yeah, he did. I saw that. He got juked. That Reed dude for Green Bay is nice though. Did you guys like these pages better? Or these pages? Yeah, this room has good vibes. Cause this one. What's up? What's up, Jurassic Black Hammer 69? It's quite the name. I'm just gonna call you Dino. Dino Nugs. This page is like when I'm calling games up in the box, this is what I use. Yeah, the name is insane. I use this sheet. I put this sheet in front of me, and then I put my call sheet. Those are my 2 sheets that I put because this tells me everything I need to know, like with formation notes and stuff like that. So like if they come out and deuce and I have the headset on, I can be like, hey, alert pass. And if it's bunch, hey, alert run. And if it's 3rd and 4, I can say, hey, alert quick game. I like this one, but usually players like this one because it shows them the picture and then like the information. Typically most players like this one, these ones. Yeah. And like so like this is typically what the first day meeting would be. This one, you think the average, like this one is better? I think this one is a little bit better because it shows you the picture and then like what's happening. The other one, I think, this one, if I can get it, This has more like actual like data and like knowledge and stuff like that. The other one's just kind of showing you what's going on. This one, like, especially like, this is the Jets. This one with the 49ers. Um, the dog was attacking you. This one I think was the biggest thing for this week with San Francisco is the motion stuff. And they're really balanced. I think this one's the biggest one that I got. The Jet versus the Jet X motion. When they snap the ball before reaching the quarterback, it's more run, and when they snap the ball after they pass the quarterback, it's more pass. This was really the only, and the F deep. Those are the only motions that I could find that were like, other than whatever. 3rd and 10 for who? The Jets, maybe? 3rd and 10 was China. I can't remember. It's weird when I was doing 2 teams. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yell at these alerts. What's Oregon? Oh, Oregon is like, yeah, Y cross. 2 overs and then like a outside vertical stretch. Let me see if I can pull it up, or if I can draw it. I can probably draw it. Let me see. It would be like this. I don't know how I can draw. I just want a pen. I don't know how to draw on here right now. Oh wait, here we go. Pencil. This would be Oregon. Like that, over, a curl, / over, and the back would be right here, going to the flat, and the O-line's right there. That's Oregon to me. This is usually the tight end right here. Screenshot this thing to see how much they played to their Tennessee last year. I can like upload it somewhere, maybe. Spider Y2 banana. Spider 2Y banana. Yeah, this is Oregon. Vertical stretch concept over here, and then usually what they're trying to do is the curl flat player in cover 3 is going to expand with that guy, and they're going to throw this ball right here outside of this defender. And if it's single high, then they'll take the shot out here. There you go. I'll try to, maybe not this week because the game's about to start. I'll like put this in a Google Drive, and oh, you know what? Here, I know what I'll do. Go here, join the Discord, and I'll upload it in PDF to there. Subscribe to the Discord or hop in the Discord, and I will I'll put it in there right now. That'll be the easiest way to do it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. For sure. Alright, well, I think the game starts in a couple minutes. So I'm finna hop off and upload these things to the Discord right here, and see if any of this stuff holds true. But other than that, I appreciate y'all for being here. Big Uzi, I appreciate the gifted subs. That's awesome. And I'm gonna get started on who plays next week. The Chargers? No, the Eagles play somebody, I think, because the Eagles' new coordinator is from the Chargers, right? It's Kellen Moore. The Eagles play someone. I don't know who they play. It's one of these teams. Maybe the Saints or the Falcons. I think it's one of these teams. I don't know. We'll see. They play somebody. But yeah, I'll upload those right now to the Discord. I appreciate y'all for being here. This was fun, and hopefully this stuff holds true and we actually found something. All right, but I'm gonna log off. I'm gonna upload these to the Discord, and let's see what happens in the kickoff. Appreciate y'all. Deuces. Eagles, Falcons. Come on. All right. Deuces, y'all.